When do we ever look at our beliefs? Do we ever sit down and say, this belief that I have is making me go further than the goals that I want to do? And how is this belief helping me become closer to the person that I want to be? We rarely do these things. In this video, I'm going to talk about the purpose of a belief and why we have beliefs to begin with. But before that, I'm going to tell you a story about a belief. This is back when I was around late teens and I was part of this after-school program. We didn't really do too much. We'd just go out, eat, do some touristy things, and just spend time together and try to make friends. And one of them said, "Hey, I'm learning Spanish." Before this, I never really met anyone who was learning Spanish. So my belief on how Spanish was a blank canvas. I didn't know if it was easy, I didn't know it was hard, it was just nothing. And he told me, "Hey, learning Spanish is really difficult. Although it's very phonetic, how you say it, how you read it, and how you hear it, it's just all similar. But it's still difficult. There's a lot of conjugation. There's a lot of vocabulary that you have to understand, and grammar and whatnot." So I came out from that conversation thinking, wow, Spanish is a hard language to learn. Even though that was not my experience, it was someone else's experience. Technically, what I probably should have come out with was Spanish is hard for him. And it was not going to be necessarily hard for me as well. So I held on to that belief that Spanish was hard as a language to learn. Up until recently, actually a year ago, when I started to actually learn the language. I got a tutor, I got a teacher, I would do homework every day. And because of all that practice and all that learning and all the lessons, I was able to get to a decent level. Decent enough to travel to Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, and be able to converse with people on a decent level. Not saying I'm fluent by any means, but I didn't even think it was a hard thing to do. And that was the thing that my friend said, that learning Spanish was something hard. And all this time, I was holding on to that belief. But the only thing that changed that belief was something from my personal experience. I found and looked for through myself, through my own personal experience, if Spanish was truly a hard language to learn. And I found out it wasn't. It wasn't necessarily a hard skill to learn. I didn't even think it was difficult. All I did was follow the instructions that my teacher told me, to do the homework, to listen to input every day, to do my flashcard system homework, and just keep going. It wasn't difficult. I just had to put in the time. I just had to do the work that was required to get to a certain level of proficiency. And thinking back, a belief is something that is subjective to someone. Not everyone holds the same experience or the same belief. And from experience, we're able to believe and have an opinion about a certain thing from it. So what is a belief? It's essentially a causation effect. It's essentially something that we think if X happens, Y will happen. And going back to the same example earlier for Spanish, what kind of actions or behaviors will happen if I believe that learning a language like Spanish is difficult? Will it make me more likely to learn the language, or will it make me more likely to not want to learn the language? And as you may have guessed, thinking that something is more difficult than not will make you less likely to do it. And on the flip side, if you think something is easy, the more likely you will be doing that thing. And it was not even that relevant for me up until I actually learned for myself. And this is just one belief that I hold that was directly challenged by my personal experience. And that makes me think and wonder, are there any beliefs that I have had even way before that do not serve me anymore, that do not help me go closer to my goals? This is just one thing about some random skill of learning a language, but I may have beliefs about fitness, about fulfillment, about relationships, about friends, about goals, about spirituality, a higher power, whatnot. And that's really hard to see because having a goal has a purpose, and having a level of belief is good. Not because it's necessarily true, because we want a certain outcome to happen from a certain thing. Throw another example. If I didn't believe that eating rice, meat, vegetables will make me not hungry anymore, why would I do it? And I propose one step for you. Do you have a belief that you think that you hold that does not serve you anymore? Is there something, if you change a particular belief that you have about yourself, will make your day a little bit smoother, a little bit closer to the goals that you want to achieve? Please take the time to think about that. And please leave a comment. I'm very open to having my beliefs and my arguments challenged. This is why partially I want to upload videos online, not just to express myself, but also having my beliefs challenged by other people. And thank you for watching.